I'm Foxy and welcome to Industries of Titan, where today we're playing on Titan difficulty, which is the hardest in the game. We're also going to be playing on hardcore mode, which essentially means we can't pause the game and we can't save it. So the only time you save is when you leave. So it just means that your mistakes are permanent, everything is permanent, and we have to do this right the first time. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So the main difference between normal and Titan is that your enemies are stronger and you get punished more for losing buildings. So essentially, if you don't lose any buildings, you just have to deal with stronger enemies. Currently, I haven't really tried any of the other destinations. I don't know if it's worthwhile. Maybe I will in the future, but for now, we're going to stick to standard. We're going to go to hardcore mode, which has a little skull pop up. And we're definitely calling ourselves Angry Bunnies. That's an intimidating hardcore name. Alright, let's go. So for this series, we kind of need to manage our resources a lot better than we have in the past. And that just kind of, it's not complex, it's just, you just have to kind of be vigilant and pay attention. And it's something that it might not be immediately obvious, so maybe I'm just saying that because it wasn't immediately obvious to me. I just kind of gave the game the benefit of the doubt, but I'll show you what I mean once we get into it. Let's go. So, F3, go into your employee management. This is how we manage the tasks. First thing we need to do is just go to every single ruin and we want to survey it. So the shortcut is to press V, so I'm just going to go and press V on literally every single one. Is that all of them? Awesome, so while we wait for that to happen, let's go and change our priorities. What you want at the top is repair and dismantle. 9 times out of 10 we will never use these, but as soon as we need to use them, I'd rather for them happen just straight away. Next, we're going to go to move. After move, no, we want processing first. Then we want move, then we want construction, then we want ruins, then we want cleanup. Awesome. So most of these, like repair, dismantle, process, that won't happen at all for like the first couple of minutes. But once that does happen, just leave it right there. So now our surveys are completing. We have to choose between resources and artifacts. We want hello, 32. Ideally, we want to get as many minerals and isotopes as we can. We need at least 4. Why am I not serving you? You have 12 and 5, 12, 5 and 1. So with our resources, we have credits, which is like your money. Isotopes, which you use to build devices and really expensive buildings. Devices are like things that you build inside of a building, like this over here, that's a device. Isotopes are mainly used for building the actual building themselves, so these large structures, and also used for upgrading. And waste over here is something that you find. It's also a byproduct of upgrading your resources, which is the processing, which I will talk to once we start processing, which should be very soon. Speed you up a little bit. Go to our tasks. We have currently 30 minerals. I want to move isotopes to this top because I need 4. We're going to take you. What else do we want to do? Let's prioritize you as well. We have a lot of resources lying around, which is perfect. Take you. What else do we have? We're getting pretty lucky so far. And we're also going to take you and you. Awesome, so I wasn't even paying attention. Our resources are actually full, so we can't gather anymore, so let's go to this. Put you on high priority. Now let's wait a little bit more. We have 82 and 11. Okay, let's speed you up. So once we get full, that's all we really need, so we can just move you down. Move you down. Now just focus on the minerals. Okay, first things first, while we wait for our minerals to stack up, we're going to build some more buildings. The first thing we need to do is build a power grid. So power grid, you have to go to your NG pylon. This is the grid that allows you to access power. My headquarters is going to produce power, but for it to connect to other buildings, it needs to be connected to a pylon. So your pylons you want to build in a straight line, but 2 hexes away, or 2 squares. So I can build it here, 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 or here. I currently want to go this way, mainly because I have my resources right here. I could build it down here, Actually, that's probably smarter. There's a lot more minerals down here. Okay, let's build our first pylon this way. We're going to need to move you eventually. Now, wherever your first pylon is, your second pylon you want to build to the opposite side. So this area will be our industrial zone, which is going to produce pollution. So we want our second area to be built up here. Now, I don't want to build it just yet because I want to prioritize building the industry first, but I'm just telling you the layout first. So we're going to need factory. This is the buildings I'm going to need. I'm going to need a little bit more influence. Let's go back into our headquarters. Now we want to build some power. So first you need to build some fuel. So the fuel lab takes gas from the air and turns it into fuel. Then that fuel gets burnt and turned into, I think it's burnt, turned into power. Now for these two buildings to work, you have to have a relay. This will connect everything so that these two need power. Your fuel doesn't need to be connected to the relay. I don't know why that is, but that's just the case. Now once this is built, let me just prioritize this so it gets built faster. Construction should be above this. Perfect. Once this is built, this is currently in a closed system, so this will generate power just for right here. For me to export this out of the building, we need a bridge. Once the bridge is built, it's then going to make sure that whatever power this building is creating is going to be connected to everything in the same grid. At the moment, we have grid 1 and grid 2. So this building is grid 2, this building is grid 1. Now the reason we have two grids is because once this has its bridge finished, this will now have grid 1, sorry. So now grid 1, we have grid 1 right there. So now everything in this area has access to 6 and 3. So let's keep building. Next we want to build our build a little factory. So this is where we're going to produce our minerals. So we're going to call this minerals. And that's going to take a little bit of time to build. So when we build that, let's go and start producing our pylons. Actually, we can't. There's that waste in the way. Speed you up. Now we're probably going to get some max resources, which I'm not really fussed about. I do, in fact, need to have you there. Whoops, wrong one. Okay. How's that waste full? Alright, cool. Now that you're ready, get over here and you want to start building your processors. So it'll be easier to explain the processor once it's finished because it's easier to kind of get a visual. So what we need to do is have an input. So input is right here, mineral input. It's going to go into the processor. It's going to come out of the output in the middle of the room. And we need an employee module to make sure it works. Now that all that is set up, we need to have a relay because these buildings need power. And for this whole building to get access to power, it needs a bridge. The bridge will give it access to the grid, and the grid will make it power and turn on. Okay, let's go back to this thing. We have waste in the way. So this building right here, it can't be built until this 4 waste is moved. Now this 4 waste can't be moved because our waste storage is full. So we need to go over here and make another one of these and move all the waste. I could just spend all my minerals and make a lot more bins to make waste, but I'm trying to stock up on tier 1 as much as I can. And you will see very soon, as soon as we start to construct some, as soon as we start to process some of these buildings. So we still have 17 minerals that need to be stored. To make life easier, let's store the isotopes first. And we have 20 influence. I need to build a building here eventually, so let's move you first. And I also need to build a building here eventually, so let's move you. And we're going to take the artifacts. You don't really get that much minerals and waste, so it's probably better to get these artifacts. Artifacts is going to be important for increasing our population, but I'll explain that once we get there, because again, visuals help everything. Are you producing T2? I'm assuming that you are. I feel like you are. Alright, so let's go look around. So we have our residential area coming here. So let's build a production building. You want to make your residential area on either side. So your pylon that goes down first is where you're going to build your industrial area. So build your minerals building, your minerals factory. On the opposite side of the headquarters, build another pylon, and you can pick either whatever top or bottom, doesn't really matter, and build your temp residence. So this is going to be a factory. Residential. Awesome. So what do we have now? We have 4. Okay, now it's time to show you why this building is so important and why I've been slowing down. So this over here, we have a total of 38 minerals. Mineral construction units. Mineral CU, just call it minerals. Now, this 39 is 19 tier 1, or 4 tier 2. Now if you see, tier 2 is worth 5 units. So essentially, the game does this. If you leave this on like default, auto currency, it means that if you pick a building, so let's pick say this building right here. If you pick a bridge, it's worth 4, right? So as you can see, T1 is worth 1, T2 is worth 5. And this is going to use mineral 1 times 4. So it's going to use 4 mineral 1 just to build this building, even though it's only worth 4. What you should be doing, use your tier 2, and that way you only use 1 tier 2. This is really important because as you play the game, if you go through your tier 1 too quickly, you don't get the most out of your resources. So this over here, use tier 2. So ideally, after this is built, you never ever want to use tier 1 for building anything. You never want to use auto currency. There's only one exception, which is anything that costs 6 minerals. So this over here costs 6. If you have auto on, it has 1 T1 and 1 T2. Other than that, pretty much majority, like 90-95% of what you're going to build is only going to be on tier 2. So this. The only point of tier 1 is just to be a stockpile to be turned into tier 2. So now that we're starting to get some of this, we want to make some more waste. Every time this mineral, this L1 is used, it has a ratio of 1 to 1. So for every T2 that comes out, it produces 1 waste. Right, the waste automatically gets stored here, but eventually this room is going to be full of waste. So you want to build a lot of ways that you can store waste. Later on, we're going to be able to deal with the waste by burning it, but we can't build that building just yet. Okay, so now that we have access to tier 2, it's now time to come down here and build our large generator, which instead of spending 20 tier 1, I'd rather just spend 4 tier 2. We've picked up all of our resources, so now it's time to look around for some more minerals. 19, that's pretty good. We've already cleared out the space we need to build, so all the space that we need is pretty much 1 hex out. So we're going to need like this space, this space, this space, but for now we've pretty much got most areas done. 24, excuse me. 14, 19, it's level 2. 32, and there we go. We'll take you. 11 is pretty good. But see, if it's level 1 and it has 2 artifacts, ideally you want to use the 2 artifacts. Unless if this is above 15 or 20, then take it, otherwise just save it. See, this only has 1 artifact, so but you also come with 3 isotopes. This right here, 100% use artifacts. That, if it has more waste than resources, just go to artifacts. It's level 10. I mean, so it's level 1, which means you need 10 points. This one, yeah, there's not really that many other minerals. Like that one's probably the next one. Alright, what do we have now? We have 21 tier 1. Alright, so now that we have that done, we have our power done, it is now time to build our temp residence. Now again, remember, you only want to be using auto for when you build buildings that cost 6. So conversion is 1. The other one is shields, which you're going to be waiting for to rebuild ships, so keep that in mind. Otherwise, every other thing you do is going to be tier 2. So it's probably a bit easier for me to just have someone permanently working on these minerals. Mineral input, mineral output. So just station someone there and tell them not to do anything else until they like just sit there. And let's go to triple speed while we wait. So one thing we can do since we're waiting, let's go and build some of the buildings. So your first pylon is going to be what you use for residential, your industry. Your second one is going to be residential. Your third pylon is where you're going to put your tower. So at the moment, I can put it either here or here. I kind of just want to put it there. So your tower is going to go right next to your headquarters. So it's either going to go there or there. First one, we'll put it there because I can't be bothered moving this. And it's going to be the same eventually. Now we can also build another building. So we're going to start to build our power. Because we're going to need more power soon. Now power goes in the corners. So here's your headquarters. In a straight line, 2 axes away, is going to be your energy pylons. Your power buildings or power factories are going to be in this corner, this corner, this corner, and this corner. We only have access to these two so far, so let's just put it in this corner. Now those cost isotopes. Right, so now let's speed this up a bit more. Let's build a little habitat pod. Let's build a bridge. No, relay first. Then a bridge. Then we're going to build the last habitat pod with the last bit of resources. Cool. So the habitat pod increases your civilians, your civilian count. Your conversion capsule increases your employee management. So employees are these little guys down here, the ones that you control. They're really important. Civilians, citizens, they're how you make money. Now you can't control a civilian. All you can do is have them and then give them a job. So have a building that produces jobs. And that's how you make majority of your money. But to create an employee, you have to turn a citizen into an employee by using this building right here. So we're now getting to the point where we need to build power and we need to start getting some more employees. Power 3. Oh wait, no, it's power 1. Alright, so let's start to make our power setup. We're gonna need, let's make the cheap buildings first. So cheap buildings is anything less than 10. That would be U2. Speed it up again. Okay, let's look around a bit more. Now this is going to be for our isotope production. We don't need it just yet, but because I'm bottlenecked by minerals, I might as well just build these buildings. Okay, now that these two are finished, it's time for me to start getting some artifacts. 32 and 1, you're amazing. You give 2, so let's take you. What else? So artifacts are these little red circles there. You're amazing as well. So I got a level 1. Let's take you. You got another 10, so let's take you. So the way you increase your population is you need to unlock the off-world migrations. So for this we first need 3 artifacts, and then we're going to spend artifacts later on. Awesome. Now we have access to off-world. These are like ships that come in. 11, 1, and 8. You're really good. Let's take you. So we're just waiting to save up on these tier 2. So now we can go back to here, build U2, build the relay, and build the bridge. We want to eventually build these large generators, but we don't want to build them just yet. So we need to wait for these to fill up, and hopefully we can get something that has less than 6 people. We want to eventually get 14 employees, and to get an employee you have to have a civilian, and you use an artifact to convert them to an employee. So we have 3 at the moment, so we need 3 more. 4 is good. So as soon as you arrive, these 1, 2, 3, 4, they'll walk into this building right here. And this is where they kind of live in their home. Now I want to convert them straight away. And eventually this 4 will go down to 2, and this 8 will go up to 10. Because you're going to transform them into them. Okay, now we can go back to triple speed. So now all we need to do is save up our T2 minerals to eventually build our L2. So this is how you make L1. L1 is how you make L1 processor is how you make tier 2 minerals. To make tier 3 minerals, you have to have an L2 processor, which is this one down here, but that one's expensive. So while we wait for that, let's go and look at our resources again. We had a conversion, so we need to keep getting conversions. You give 4. So if I save up to 20, I can eventually let's do that. Let's go to temp-res. Let's take you. Can we get any more drops? We cannot. So once I get these 4, that should be all the artifacts that I need. So we still need to save up in our... We need a lot more. Shit, what am I doing? Go down here. You do not store isotopes, just store minerals. So you're gonna need, I think it's like 60 or 65 minerals to build L2. Conversion is complete. Now conversion is, where is it? There it is. Awesome, so we should be getting our 4. Now we just need to get another 2 more people. Or at least 3. Let's speed you up. The waste is full, but I don't really care about that. We'll move it soon. Come on. Okay, well, let's do this. L2 is, hi, hello. Leave a 2 space. You want to put your employee module at the top. Put your output in the middle of the room. Put your isotope or your mineral input on the corner here. Have a module to pick up the waste. And you want 1 more relay to connect everything. Move, peasant. Awesome. Now we should eventually start to make some T3. Okay, cool. What are we doing now? We're waiting for this mineral, this thing right here. Come on, my friend. Give me 5 or less people. That's not cool. We can't really do anything. That's painful. You know what? Let's just take those little bit of resources. Come on. I believe in you. 5 or less. Please. Not enough spaceport space. Okay, what this means is that it's going to give us 11 and 5. Currently, our spaceport is at a capacity of 12 out of 20. So we only have 8 space. We're going to increase this by using 1. And now we have 12 out of 40. We'll take this. So that's perfect because it lines up because we need 3 artifacts to turn U3. Let's put it here, temp-res. 1, 2, now we just need 1 more. So now we can go back to our power. Right, do we have any tier 3? We have some tier 3, perfect. So now we can build our generators. Awesome. Now we want to also start to go back to here. What we have, 17 out of 4 people. Speed you up again. We're gonna need to make 1 more power building. Actually, no, we don't. We need to make this. Okay, we're in a bit of an awkward spot. We wanted to get those tier 3, but now we want to turn you off. The reason is that we only want to build tier 2 with our certain buildings. So everything that goes inside here pretty much needs tier 2, other than the generators. So at the moment, because we don't have any tier 2, because we're turning it into tier 3 straight away, I need to just kind of wait. There's space for 1 more conversion. That's really messy, but I'll solve it soon. So let's go back to waiting. Okay, now we want to make our L1 processor for our isotopes. Have this here. Employee at the top. Output on the side. Waste in the bottom. Relay over here. Relay up here. And now we just need a bridge. Come on, my friend. Bridge there. We can start making some upgraded isotopes. We have 33 points. So because we still have so many minerals, let's go and start to get some more artifacts. 1, 3, that's pretty good. Okay, 3 and 3, we want to grab these 2. So we want these artifacts because we want to unlock the council hall, which needs 5, which is going to be important later on. But because I don't want to spend my influence on minerals right now, because I have way too many, I don't just spend it on isotopes because I have too many, and I have enough artifacts. I don't have enough artifacts yet, but I need just enough to get to here. Okay, now we just need one more. Can I take a small tier 1? Don't want to use you. Don't want to use you. We'll take it from you, sir. What happened to my... Why am I at a 13 out of 20? Out of 12? Did I destroy you? Excuse me. Oh, wait, did I just accidentally... Mistakes were made, my bad. Wait, did I just lose a person because of that? Hello? Or did I cancel the... Now I need to get another artifact. I have no idea what just happened. That's all good. Okay, now we need to start to set up our power. So we need to build another production. Build you down here. Again, remember, power's on the corners. So that's power 1. This is going to be power 2. And I use the tier 2 isotope because it costs 2. And I don't want to waste 2 tier 1s on this. So to build that power, I'm going to need 2 tier 3, and I think it's 4 tier 2? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 6. So after this is built, I will just be spending all my time getting to tier 3 resources. Let's go here. Let's turn you back on. We have 17, so yeah, I need to get one more. I think I accidentally cancelled my thing, which is really stupid of me. Because I have none of these are worth 1 artifact. Except for you. But you have nice... That's what I get for making a mistake. Let's go into here. Let's go to this. We want to go straight into our... Where are we? Fuel. Fuel. Small. Small. Ah, this is where I messed up. I'm using my T3 too quickly. Hi, hello, sir. Can you slow down for a second? We'll save that. Speed you up. Small relay. And one more for the bridge. Now we go back here, and now we can focus you onto... Awesome. So now for military, you want to go to this. So we have the isotopes, which is going to cost 3. It'd be nice if I had this at level 3, but that's okay. And now we just have to wait for you to get to 400. So we have the power. This is going to cost 24 power, so we have enough energy. We have enough isotopes, we just have to wait for you, and that's pretty much it. The tower's going to go right there. So is there anything else I can do while I wait? Pretty much no. I'm just gonna leave it on triple speed and just tick it off. Tick it off. Minerals, isotopes, power, power 1, temporaries. So the next power is gonna go there and there. So we eventually need to clear these 2 spaces. 2 artifacts, but I want 14 minerals. I have plenty of minerals, so let's just take these artifacts. Clear you out. I could be making batteries. Keep going, my friend. Four more. Why does this feel so slow? I'm doing like, it's triple speed. It's as fast as we can go. You have someone working there permanently. Let's add you though. To make it quicker? Is it going slow because it needs to be cleaned? Is that why? That's why it's going slow. Okay, I never normally do this, but I feel like I messed up by letting too much waste pile up. Now, can you guys start cleaning this place, please? It's my bad for letting it get that far. Perfect. Slow you down. Hello. Alright, we're going to end this episode right here. We should have the turret up in time for this attack. It's only at 93%. We have the power for it. We just need to put an employee there and then just let our resources pile up. And that's pretty much it. I mean, that's our first wave prepared. We then need to prepare to scale up, but we'll get into that in the next episode. So take care, be awesome, be safe. Foxyl out.